Hey everybody, this is Kevin Bass from the.wars.com, and I'm now going to be presenting to you a body of literature, at least a slice of a body of literature showing that statin medications are helpful for sexual function and sexual dysfunction in men. Now, the same sorts of mechanisms, namely the improvement of vascular function, endothelial function, higher nitric oxide, these same mechanisms are probably also operative in females as well. So females with sexual dysfunction, although the form it takes is substantially different than for males, females with sexual dysfunction can also benefit in similar ways. And of course, female sexual function will be enhanced through similar sorts of mechanisms. Here is a press release from 2014 in the American College of Cardiology, and I'm going to be drawing from this to set the foundation for the discussion. It says, statins are associated with a significant improvement in erectile function, a fact researchers hope will encourage men who need statins to reduce the risk of heart attack to take them, according to research to be presented at the American College of Cardiology's 63rd Annual Scientific Session. Of course, now that's like 8 years ago, but as I said, we're going to be using this to set the foundation for the rest of the discussion. It says, erectile dysfunction is common in older men, especially among those with cardiovascular risk factors, where cholesterol-lowering statins are frequently prescribed. Previous research has suggested a negative association between statin therapy and testosterone levels, leading questions about the effects of these widely used medications on the quality of erection. And of course, as we've seen in our other previous videos, the reduction in testosterone due to statins is about 3.4% testosterone. It's a clinically insignificant effect. And it's not going to have any effect on erection quality. Let's continue reading from this article, though. In the first meta-analysis of previous studies on erectile dysfunction in statins, researchers identified 11 randomized controlled trials that measured erectile function using the International Inventory of Erectile Function, a self-administered survey with 5 questions, each scored on a 5-point scale and totaled, with lower values representing poor sexual function. Analysis of all 11 studies combined found a statistically significant effect of statins on erectile function in men who had both high cholesterol and erectile dysfunction. Overall, erectile function scores increased by 3.4 points in the men who took statins, from 14 to 17.4, a 24% increase. And they're going to quote a researcher, quote, the increase in erectile function scores with statins was approximately 1/3 to 1/2 of what has been reported for drugs like Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra, said John B. Costas, MD, Director of Cardiovascular Institute and Associate Dean for Cardiovascular Research at Rutgers, Robert Wood, Johnson Medical School, and the lead investigator of the study. So if you compare statins to Viagra or Cialis or Levitra, these well-known erectile dysfunction medications, statins do about 1/3 to 1/2 as well. And by the way, just so people, in case people are wondering, yes, these effects stack on each other. So you can take, of course, Cialis, which is also, I think, tadalafil. I always struggle to fully pronounce the name. And then Viagra, which is sildenafil. And then you can add statins to it, and you're going to get even more robust effect. And of course, the prevention of cardiovascular events. And so, as Costas says, he says, it was larger than the reported effect of lifestyle modification for men with erectile dysfunction who need statins to control cholesterol, and this may be an extra benefit. So, not only are you going to enhance your protection from cardiovascular disease, you're going to enhance your erection quality. Researchers believe that statins may work to improve erectile function by helping blood vessels dilate properly and improving vascular blood flow to the penis, which is often restricted in men with erectile dysfunction. While statins are not recommended as a primary treatment for erectile dysfunction in patients with healthy cholesterol levels, the added benefit may encourage more men who need statins to take them. Millions of men are prescribed statins to prevent heart disease, but some stop taking the medication or taking less than the recommended dose, Costas said. Rather than preventing the possibility of a heart attack in the future, the more immediate benefit of improving erectile erectile function might improve adherence to statin therapy, he added. So, in other words, maybe men who are not so concerned about their risk of cardiovascular disease 20 years in the future might nonetheless be persuaded by this benefit of these medications in the here and now. And so, I want to discuss, though, as we continue this, I want to discuss why is this the case? Why do statins improve erectile function? So, here's why. So here's a paper called Suppression of Endothelial Nitric Oxide Production After Withdrawal of Statin Treatment is Mediated by Negative Feedback Regulation of Rho GTPase Gene Transcription. So it says, background, statins improve endothelial function by upregulating nitric oxide production that is mediated by inhibiting isoprenylation of the Rho GTPase. Withdrawal of statin therapy could suppress endothelial nitric oxide function and may impair vascular function. So what this paper just shows, and it's a mouse study, but mouse physiology is similar to humans, and there's ample human evidence as well that this is the mechanism as well, is that statins actually increase nitric oxide. So nitric oxide is a mediator of vasodilation. It dilates the vasculature, and it basically causes more blood flow. So since erections are determined by blood flow, so if you increase the amount of blood flow, for example, to the penis, then you're going to increase the erection quality. Now, the interesting thing is that this is a pretty acute effect, meaning this should be becoming the case. This should be the case within not very long after starting with statin therapy. You don't need to reverse cardiovascular disease in order to see the benefit. It's an acute effect, so within, say, a week of initiating statin therapy, erection quality should increase, which is an interesting benefit. In one of these papers, I think it may be this one, I'm not sure, but in one of these papers, it's shown that ezetimibe, which reduces the reabsorption of cholesterol from the gastrointestinal tract, actually doesn't cause the same effect. So it's unique to statins themselves because statins have many different effects besides just lowering cholesterol. And one of the effects is improving endothelial function via increasing nitric oxide secretion, and only statins do this. Ezetimibe does not do this. And I believe it's in this paper that this is shown. So Rho GTPase statins and nitric oxide by Yoshiyuki Rikitake and James Liao. And finally, there was a randomized controlled trial looking at this specifically, where they looked at atorvastatin and vitamin E, and they looked at what would happen if they gave people atorvastatin to their nitric oxide levels, and they showed in this study, it's called atorvastatin improves erectile dysfunction in patients initially irresponsive to sildenafil by the activation of endothelial nitric oxide synthase. It showed that atorvastatin increased the secretion of nitric oxide. Actually, serum nitric oxide levels were substantially higher in those, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So if you compare nitric oxide and nitric oxide synthase levels, it's substantially higher after taking atorvastatin, indicating the mechanism of action may indeed be nitric oxide mediated. The mechanism by which statins may improve erectile function. Okay. So now it's a fairly well-established effect. We can look at this meta-analysis. This meta-analysis is available in the World Journal of Men's Health. It's by Kostis and Dobrzynski. I have a hard time pronouncing it. Dobrzynski. The R and the Z are together, two consonants. I'm not sure how to exactly bridge those two consonants to properly pronounce that name, but it is what it is. And the article is called Statins and Erectile Dysfunction. It's 2019, January, in that journal I just mentioned. And they show through meta-analysis of all the available trials that you get a modest improvement in erectile function when you're taking statins. So if you want to improve your erectile function and sexual function, statins are not the worst way to go about doing it. So that's another added benefit. And yeah, I think that's not a bad benefit to consider. So if you liked this video, if you enjoy listening to me talk in general, or you want to get more content, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Patreon at Kevin and Bass, KevinnBass. You can also find me on my website, thedietwars.com. Support me at thedietwars.com/support-me. It's very much appreciated if you can make a donation, and if you can sign up as a patron, if you are gaining benefit from these podcasts and videos. Please like, click, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys think about this video, about what I'm doing in general, about what I can make better and what I am doing well. That would be much appreciated. Leave as many comments as you like, and of course, as I said, share. That would be much appreciated. Check me out at The Kevin Bass Show is my podcast. Check them out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Apple Podcasts would be a great place to leave a review, but please leave and rate my podcast on both platforms. That would be much appreciated. Finally, you can check me out at K-Bass Philadelphia on YouTube, where you can see all the different studies that I'm talking about as I talk about them on a screen cap at the same time. And if you liked all this, again, please click share and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.